Hey everyone, welcome to The Extra Mile. I am G5.
And I'm Justin.
Justin. And Caleb.
Hey,
In the
Hey.
corner.
what's up?
Caleb's corner.
All right. Well, this is a conversational podcast. It's meant to be an easy listen for Christians and an engaging listen for non-Christians. What we're talking about today are hypocrites. So, yeah. Anyway, if you're been confronted with hypocrisy, I was going to say if you're into that, but no one should be.
If you're into hypocrisy, continue to listen.
Yes,
I can see
if
why you
are a
pause.
hypocrite. Yeah,
'Cause you usually say that, and you're like, wait a second.
that's
Nope.
I had a recent interaction where there was a talk about doing something as a Christian should, like, oh, well, we need to give this news gently as a Christian should. And then the comment immediately after, which they wanted to apologize for, they said, oh, you mean like a hypocrite? And there was some laughter among the group that I was in. But then this person came up to me after and wanted to apologize to the group.
What was the thing you're supposed to be gentle for, though?
There were some people missing, and we were giving news about some work that we were doing. And so it's like, oh, if once they come back, we'll just share that instruction.
Oh, okay.
and then but we'll do it. And I was just trying to make a joke, and I was like, but we'll do it with the love of Christ,
Yes.
Gently. And then someone was like, you mean like a hypocrite? And and so then they wanted to apologize to the group. But I think that's interesting to talk about, where being a Christian can really be hard, especially because of, even Paul talks about that internal war that's inside of us, where we do the things that we shouldn't do. And boy, we wish that we could stop that.
Yeah,
And,
Romans 7. I do the things that I don't want to do, right?
Yeah. And then, woeful man is me, he concludes,
Yes.
but he's like, but thanks be to God, so that's a great passage to read, by the way, if anybody's really interested in studying the Romans book.
Well, it is interesting. I think the church often gets characterized as, oh, they're just a bunch of hypocrites, right? And I think that's often where that phrase comes.
And then is that a
from.
good thing?
And I felt that too,
Mhm.
Connecting with brothers and sisters, connecting with other church members, other Christians that call themselves Christians, and then seeing them act another way. It's easy to go and judge and be like, hey, they're a hypocrite.
It's so easy to fall in line on Sunday morning, on Wednesday night, when you're all assembled together, and then you immediately pull out of the parking lot, and then you get cut off in traffic, and somebody, has broken into your house while you were gone and takes your prized things. It's hard to maintain
Yeah.
without that connection.
It doesn't help that on Sunday Sunday is a performance at times, and it doesn't help that performance then creates an environment in which people sometimes feel fake,
Yeah.
right? Oh, I've been arguing with my wife all the way to church, and then once we pull in the parking lot, let's turn it on.
Now we got and that was talked about in the marriage class here a while back, where they said that the devil likes to attack marriages, and its favorite time to do it is on the way to church.
On the way to church.
It's like,
But then you get done with church,
man.
and I just did a sermon after fighting with my wife about how you should love others, and then we get in the car and someone cuts you off, and you're just like beep beep beep, honking your horn, and not acting Christ-like at all. So it's just we live in a broken and a fallen world, right?
That's an interesting thing to consider, is like, would Christ have ever used his horn in an aggressive way?
When Jesus, if he was behind that guy who's just like on his phone scrolling at the green light,
But that's the thing,
the gentle honk.
Yeah, the little short, please move, or is it the and you really lay on the horn? That's not the Jesus honk.
But would even Jesus go beep, or would he be like?
Would Jesus do the gentle or would Jesus just be happy?
Because even the sometimes I get so personally offended. I'm like, maybe I was talking with my kids. Maybe I was just like dialing in the AC. It's like
that's a fascinating.
As a millennial, I get personally offended by everything.
By someone who's
just
encouraging you
probably
to
trying
pay
to get to
attention
the
traffic.
doctors, and
Caleb hates what we're talking about right now. He's so uncomfortable.
I feel everything from everybody. I'm so empathetic. I implode.
That's great.
Well, when you were talking about hypocrisy, a couple thoughts come to mind. One, I feel like we have sometimes as Christians maybe an imposter syndrome. That instead of hypocrisy, what we're talking about is imposter syndrome. Like, I feel like an imposter because, yes, I've sinned. Yes, I am sinning and I'm trying to do better, but I mess up. And just because it looks like I'm a hypocrite doesn't negate that I'm trying. And so while Christ makes me perfect, I feel more like an imposter than anything. I think that's one symptom to the hypocrisy observation. The second is adjacent to that, and that is the standard is perfection, which then makes us who are in the flesh
Always imperfect.
But at the same time, we can't there's no way that we could be cleansed of our sins if he wasn't perfect. And so
there would be no need for Jesus if we were perfect.
Right. So perfection is the solution, but it's something only Christ can obtain, and yet he makes us perfect. And so that tension that in this world and on this earth isn't, fully resolved. There's a hope of completion and it being resolved. But as it sits right now, it's here, but, not yet, type idea. It's not fully resolved. So that's I think we're sitting with those two things. At least those are my two observations from what you're talking about.
So then is that a good thing?
The person calling us hypocrites perhaps isn't considering that or seeing that.
Yeah. But they themselves are critiquing from a position of imperfection.
Right. And I think that's where you get sometimes the phrase, well, the whole world is full of hypocrites. We're all hypocrites. I think it goes back to what we said in the previous episode of this podcast. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. And yet at the same time, as I mentioned off air, like Jesus' strongest rebuke, or I should say maybe sharpest rebuke, was against those that were hypocrites and actively hypocrites.
Yeah, he was seemingly quite gentle to those who were just sinning,
just trying
to do better.
Right.
But especially toward the Pharisees, he was very pointed.
Right. The Pharisee that says, "Look, I'm glad I'm not like this sinner, this tax collector." Yeah, he got the sharp rebuke. But the sinner that said, the tax collector that just prayed, "I am a wretched sinner, forgive me of my sins," walks away justified. Right. This is Luke 18.
So then is it about your heart condition?
Right. And we as humans, I can't read your heart. I can't read Caleb's heart. But it's easy for me to judge and say, well, he's being a hypocrite. What I can see, though, is sometimes the fruits. How do you treat other people? Right? How do you interact with other people? How do you see yourself in relation to other people? I think that's too. Is it with an arrogance, haughty attitude that we see often from the Pharisees? We can see those things.
If you actually, in your heart, believe that you're better than other people.
Yeah. But here's the other thing as well. Maybe we should leave the judgment of hypocrisy to the one who is perfect and not us who are imperfect. I think that's another important thing too. I think we often want to be like, well, he was a hypocrite. Well, let's let God be the judge of that. Well, let's let God say that.
Yeah. Once that person said that in this group that I was in, they came up to me after and said, I really would like to apologize to the group for what I said, because it was, I wasn't thinking, it's just.
Yeah, right.
So I think with time and perspective, even a sharp rebuke then turned introspective says, well, I can't really say anything because I also do these things. And I think it's a healthy place to be, is that we fall into that trap sometimes.
Right.
Where, I think one of my sharpest rebukes just internally in the family is, why do you people do these things? And then I find that I do those things too. And it's like, okay, well, I better just hold my tongue.
Making me think of the Office quote. Why are you the way that you are?
Why are we the way that we are, I guess? Yeah. That's interesting. With self-reflection and an internal look at your own motivations and actions, you'll find that you don't really have a platform with which to judge other people.
Right. Just to listen to some of the words of Jesus. I mean, he says, "Woe to you, experts of the law, and you Pharisees, hypocrites! You cross land and sea to make one convert, and when you get one, you make him twice as much a child of hell as yourself." Right? You make him work twice as hard as you work. How are they treating other people? Woe to you, blind guides, he calls them. Later he'll say they love the seat of honor, but they don't take a place of humility. Whoever exalts himself will be humble, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted. Mm-hmm. This is Matthew 23. I think that's important too. Now, it's also important to take time and realize your place in the church. These people are religious people at the time that are Israelites and are active amongst
supposed
God's
leaders,
people
yeah.
and leaders as God's people.
They were the ones who were educated in the law, and the ones who were they almost had these additional rules that you had to follow.
Right.
And there's extensive writings about what they did. I mean, even Paul talks about, I was educated as a Pharisee,
right,
and as a philosopher. And
amen. Yeah. And then Jesus rebuking them. And now, who are we today as God's people? We are a part of Christ's body. We don't need to be hypocrites. Mm-hmm. So we need to look at ourselves. We need to look inward and ask, how am I acting? Right? Am I following a bunch of rules that's going to cause me to judge someone else and make them work twice as hard and make myself love a place of honor and not humble myself? Well, then that's a problem.
That made me think about the Gospels weren't written down. But Paul was alive when they were written down, don't you think? Is that timeline accurate?
What are you saying?
Well, like the gospel account, the stories of Jesus were in the oral tradition until they were written down.
Yeah.
And so I'm assuming that Paul would have been exposed to Matthew 23, or at least the narrative of Matthew 23, and how every one of those rebukes would just would just be a dagger to the heart of, oh, that's me. Oh, that's me. And so in that perspective, when you look at his entire ministry and his epistles, appealing to people, appealing to the Jews, that he would have that reflected on his heart.
Yeah.
I was this way, Jesus rebuked, and it's true. And now it's almost like when you've walked through the door and you're trying to help other people through, you're like the light bulb is already turned on for you, and you're no, you're in the darkness. And if you think of that motivation when you're reading Paul's letters, it seems a lot more gentle and loving.
Yes.
Where
yes, it does.
Like you're trying to help lift other people up out of, you guys have your eyes shut and your hearts are closed off. I'm appealing to you as your kinsman, as your brother. Like, I was circumcised. I'm one of you.
Right.
Jesus is one of us.
Yes.
I
was a hypocrite.
Yes.
And now I'm trying to make you better, Yeah, exactly.
Which maybe that's the appeal as us as Christians reaching to others who are critical of us is, we are all imperfect, but Christ makes us perfect.
Right.
I mean, and even the lessons of wisdom is that I don't boast in the things that I can do, because I can do nothing. Yeah. But Christ through me, I can do anything.
Right.
And so I only boast in him.
Right. And isn't it interesting? The crux, the tension of the issue of God being the standard of perfection is actually the solution to our problem too. Anyway, some thoughts to think about. Go so. If you want to know more about the Bible or you have any questions, our email is in the description below. You can DM us. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're looking for a church family or you're in the Lubbock area, we invite you to come visit and hang out with us in Milwaukee. We love for you to find a church who practices the love of Christ.